emergency request for removal in this file yesterday that was granted. That I reviewed the petition, authorized the petition, and issued a removal order. So this is the prelim following that. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Nicole Underwood, lawyer, guardian ad litem for the minor children.
Ms. Stasia Thomas, counsel for the department.
Christopher Farian for the department.
Michael Brooks, I represent Father Dustin King. Mr. King, identify yourself.
Dustin King, the father.
Michael McFarland representing mother. Please introduce yourself.
Kirsten Miller.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen, you had a chance to talk with your clients, is that right?
I have.
Yes.
Very good, I appreciate that. Have you each confirmed that your clients have received a copy of the petition?
Your Honor, my client only received a email copy. She was supposed to be served this morning, but I provided her a copy early, and she has had a chance to read it. So.
Okay, very good.
Well, that's a service. Okay. Yes, he's been received. Yes, he has, excuse me, received a copy of the petition.
Very good. All right. I see that there was some preliminary inquiry done as to whether or not there's any Native American heritage, and it does appear that there are no indications of that. Were you each able to talk with your clients about that piece?
That's always been Mr. McFarland's bailiwick, not mine, so I did not ask the question.
I got Seneca Indian.
All right.
There you have it.
Would you swear in both parents in case we need to ask them questions directly?
You can remain seated, but please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Very good. Okay, Mr. King, you said Seneca?
Yes.
Is that a Michigan tribe?
My grandma was it must have been.
Okay.
My brothers found it out with ancestry.com. We're related to Bear Jenkins as well from 1592.
Interesting. Okay, so do you know what your grandmother's name was or her name?
Yes, Maud Below Smith.
And do you know how to spell it?
MAUDE BALAAU.
MAUGE.
Ballo. Ballo is BAL. Beulah or something.
Well, she's here. You're here.
That's my mother.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my grandma's been dead since 72. Great grandma.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Well, the long and the short of it is the caseworker will need all of that information in order to send it to the tribes to make sure that you're.
Get it from my brother.
Okay.
Chad.
All right. Well, we'll leave it to the caseworkers to follow up with your brother and try to get some of that information to find out whether or not your children would be entitled to additional services or caseworkers through the tribe in Michigan. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Ms. Kirsten Miller, do you have any reason to believe that you or your children would be eligible for Native American intervention on your side?
I think we're Cherokee. That's my grandma. No, there's not a no. There's not a no.
Well, we're told there's some, Your Honor. So I don't know if it's up to the tribe to decide that.
Both.
Well, I'm sure the department would be happy to supply whatever information they can find up to the Bureau of Indian Affairs to see if you or your children could qualify for any additional services. So please make sure you give all that information over to Mr. Farian or to your attorneys if you're not comfortable working directly with the department, and then they can pass that along. Any questions on that point?
No.
All right. Okay. Well, you each have a right to an attorney, which is why Mr. Brooks and Mr. McFarland are here today. You always have the right to hire your own attorney, but that person would have to contact the public defender's office and get that information. Does have a right to trial on the allegations of the petition. And as I understand it, that is what you're requesting, Mr. Brooks?
Yes, Your Honor, a bench trial. And I have advised my client of his right to have a jury trial. But I have told him my opinion is we would be better off with a bench trial.
All right. Well, Mr. King, if you change your mind, you need to let me know that in writing within 14 days on the jury trial, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Mr. McFarland, do you know how your client would like to proceed?
I do. The petition references a current domestic violence offense, Your Honor, which my client is being charged. Therefore, a no contest would be appropriate, Your Honor. I've discussed that with the guardian ad litem.
Any objection to that, Mr. Brooks?
None.
Ms. Thomas, your position?
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
No objection. Very good. All right, so we'll get to that in just a moment. Both of you have the right to seek placement of your children at this hearing and to give me any position or any argument on that. You also have the right to admit or deny the allegations and make a statement of explanation, but we've already covered how you'd like to proceed. Okay. And of course, you all also have the right to have the petition read in its entirety onto the record. Mr. Brooks, would you like?
No, Your Honor, we do not want it read.
Mr. McFarland?
No, Your Honor. I've inquired with my client. She does not need to have it read. She is satisfied with its placement. As she agrees, she does not have satisfactory place right now. The children we would like to address parenting time at the conclusion or at some time in this proceeding.
Mr. Brooks, is your client seeking placement at this hearing?
Well, he wants placement, but I have told him that given the circumstances, unless and until he has adequate housing for them, we're not pursuing it today. That doesn't mean we aren't pursuing it, but not today.
Has he also had the chance to supply names of relatives that he would prefer?
Yes, the kids were supposed to go to my brother Todd last night. Dustin Michael King was, because I've had him for 3 months since July when his mother dropped him off because her boyfriend.
Well, she just wants to know the name and the address.
Okay.
Well, if that's already gone to Mr. Farian for exploration, that's
He
important.
was supposed to, and he lied to me and sent him to Jessica instead.
Just answer the judge's question.
Sorry.
All right, well, if there's anybody else that you would like explored for placement, that information is important to have right away.
Possibly Chad King as well.
All right.
Same.
And I know Mr. Farian is willing and able to explore those relatives and let us know how that comes out. All right, for purposes of scheduling your trial, we went through this yesterday, and I think, Ms. Underwood, you are not available Monday the 13th, but you were available Friday the 17th of January, is that right?
I believe so, Your Honor, let me get there. Yeah, the 13th in the afternoon, I was not available. I'm available in the morning, but I am available the 17th.
Okay. Mr. Brooks, 1:30 p.m. on Friday, January 17th?
I'm writing, Your Honor.
Very good.
Time?
1:30 p.m.?
I'll be fine.
Very good. And then for purposes of pretrial, would you like that consolidated with the disposition date for the mom?
That'll work.
May not have a whole lot of time available. Monday, December 16th in the morning at 9?
What is that again, Your Honor? What hearing is that?
That would be for your pretrial and for the initial disposition of the mother's case. If that gives you enough time, Mr. Ferry?
Again, the time? Date and time?
Be 9 o'clock,
What is the date again, Your Honor?
December 16th,
That should work.
December 15th?
16th. It's a Monday. At 9.
Your Honor, maybe a little bit more time if possible, please.
The only other option would be that same week, Friday, the 20th at 9, because the Christmas is the week after that.
That will work, Your Honor.
Ms. Underwood, are you available Friday, the 20th?
At 9?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Good.
So December 20th at 9, Mr. Brooks?
December 20th at 9 o'clock will work, Your Honor.
All right, and that's for the pretrial on your client's request for bench trial, which is scheduled for January 17th, 2025.
So did
At
you
one
also say
thing.
that's dispo for mom?
Yes, that will also be the disposition date, if I accept her. All right,
The 19th, you said, Your Honor?
20th.
20th, okay.
Would be your trial rights in short, along with many of the other aspects of the trial that go along with that. You would be giving up those rights in that process if I accept your plea and if you decide to enter a plea. Do you understand that? Is that what you wish to do?
Yes.
With regard to the consequences of your plea, or in other words, what will happen, the court will do the following. There will be continued investigation by the caseworker to see what the problems are in your family and how and whether they can be solved. The court could dismiss the case if there's no need for the court to be involved. If it appears that there's a problem that may be solved, the court can make the children temporary wards of the court, place them with mother or father or with relatives or in a foster home in order programs for you and your children, such as counseling, drug and alcohol treatment, assessments, and parenting classes. If it appears that you will not be able to provide a proper home for the children in a reasonably foreseeable future, the court could terminate your parental rights. In regard to the plea itself, the plea can also later be used as evidence in a proceeding to terminate your parental rights. Do you understand the consequences of your plea?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the information I've given you so far?
No.
Is anyone forcing you or making you enter a no contest plea today?
No.
Has anyone threatened you in order to get you to enter a no contest plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything in order to get you to enter a no contest plea?
No.
Are you under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or anything else that could get in the way of you understanding what you're doing here this morning? Would you say your decision to enter a no contest plea is one you've made of your own free will?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas, as it relates to the no contest plea, would you like to present any evidence on the issues that you'd like Ms. Miller to work on?
Your Honor, I would ask Mr. McFarland if he would, and Ms. Underwood, if they would stipulate to utilizing the petition as the factual basis for the plea. And if not, then
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
will call Mr. Farren. Okay.
No objection to that.
All right, Ms. Underwood, do you find it to be in the serving the best interest of the children for me to accept the plea from this mother?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So it would appear that the main allegations in the petition,
Your Honor, I'm happy to, if you would like, I'm happy to summarize what I believe the department would indicate are
That
the
would be-
main issues.
thank you, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. The main concerns for the department and as it relates to Ms. Miller would be parenting, so parenting education. We'd also want to ensure the basic needs can be met, so housing and employment. Because of the domestic violence, we would request domestic violence counseling and education. Complying with any necessary bond conditions, whatever, from the criminal matters, which I believe that she is handling. And then I think that it would be also appropriate to address some mental health and just ensure that there are no outstanding mental health needs that are needed through a psychological evaluation.
All right, Ms. Miller, does that sound like and the naming of the areas that you'd like to work on as well?
Yes.
That's what we went over.
Thank you. Very good. All right. I do think that sounds appropriate. Are the attorneys satisfied with the advice of rights and the factual basis of the plea?
I am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. I am also satisfied the plea is knowingly, voluntarily, and understandably given with a full understanding of the consequences, and that the record supports that there has been a violation of MCL 712A 2B1 and 2 as it relates to the home environment of the child in the care of all of the children in the care of this mother for all the reasons that were articulated. And I'll look forward to reviewing the case services plan. You're welcome to engage in some of those services voluntarily. My assumption would be that there will be a family team meetings following and incorporating a conversation about those services as well, so you can have some good information on how to get started with those. Who's the caseworker on this one, if we know yet?
Foster's.
Your Honor, it'll be Fostering Solutions. It's my understanding that Christy Brinker would be the direct worker and Ashley Beach, I believe, is going to be the supervisor.
All right, on parenting time, what is the department's position?
Your Honor, I believe at this time we would just ask for supervised per policy requirements. One moment.
We anticipated that, Your Honor. No objection.
And I know that there will be a family meeting to discuss how that looks for them. So we would just request the court to allow us to do that.
Deputy Ames, would you step out and invite Mr. Brooks back in? Because this concerns his client as well on parenting time.
I will, Your Honor.
We do have one other request, Your Honor, when the court would like to hear it. The petition states, my client would state that she was struck in the face with a can of food by the father. She would like the court to consider a no contact clause between parents.
Are there bond conditions in any of the pending criminal matters that already address that?
My client indicates not for him, Your Honor.
Maybe just
All right, thanks.
Your Honor, if I may interject on that point too, I mean, if Marla's client feels like she's unsafe, she's more than able to seek a PTO.
And that's something that should be seeking assistance from the family team meeting or a worker to help her obtain that, Your Honor. Yes. But in the interim, she would like that. So this court also has a recourse contempt that's broken.
Ms. Thomas, your position on that request?
I think that's appropriate, Your Honor.
Ms. Underwood, do you find that that would serve the interests of the children?
I do, yes.
Well, and certainly we'll have Mr. Brooks to ask about that as well. For this parent, so typically, if there's no overarching risk associated with it, we would look at parenting time 2 to 3 times a week. Obviously, balancing things like transportation and the burden on the policeman, as well as the child's health around mental health and visitation. But Mr. Farian, do you have any indication of what that's going to look like for mom?
The visitation?
Yes.
Not at this time, no. I mean, it will be supervised as stated and at the department's discretion.
There is one child who's a severe autistic child. She would also like to be invited to school and medical functions that might be for all the children, especially.
That's typically part of the case services plan.
I believe it is, but there may be some appointments prior to this position, so that's what we're bringing it up.
I think we're gonna, if anybody has it, Christy Brinker's information, if we pass it along to mom so that she can communicate directly with her as soon as possible, I think that would be the easiest way to make sure that those messages get communicated, frankly. Mr. Perry, do you have her information?
I do not, but I can acquire it rather quickly, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, we'll count on you to do that then before you take off today.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Mr. Brooks, the position of the department on parenting time is to abide by what is typical in a situation, and as I understand it, that would be supervised parenting time for your client.
That is no surprise to me at all.
Very well. I think in that situation as well, it could be explored to do some therapeutic supervised parenting time for your client. I know
That's
that
fine.
there's we had a sidebar before we got started. I know there's some significant friction between your client and the department, so it may be appropriate to ask an outside person to conduct that parenting time.
My client wants the help, Your Honor.
Okay,
It
great.
may not, in first impression, based on what I've told you, think he's opposed, but he's not.
Your Honor,
Your
I
Honor,
would
if I-
ask that parenting time with dad and the oldest child who has a different, he's with his mom right now, that parenting time be suspended until the child has been assessed with maybe a parenting time evaluation or some type of therapeutic parenting time, as there is additional issues between that child's mom and dad. I think it'd be in the child's best interest that some type of evaluation be done prior to any parenting time.
Did you have something you wanted to add, Ms. Thomas, before I respond to that?
Yes, Jenner, as it relates to Mr. King, I believe that it would be appropriate to suspend parenting time pending a parenting time evaluation, given the pervasiveness of the domestic violence, especially in front of the children, the lack of regard for their well-being. I think that there's also some mental health issues that really need to be sussed out in this matter for the benefit of the children. So we just asked that we be permitted to conduct the parenting time evaluation before moving forward on parenting time with Mr. King.
May I respond?
You may.
Your Honor, this position puts me in a rather difficult position in that we're treating the mother in one way and my client in the other. I will remind the court, and I'm not in any way trying to attack the mother, but it is she who is charged with domestic violence, not he. And he is in the mood to cooperate with people. And while I guess the term would be, I'd like to see a strike while the iron's hot, and denying him visitation while granting it to the mother is not going to assist anyone in this matter in moving forward. So I ask that the court not agree or order the recommendations of Ms. Thomas or the GAL at this time. If it turns out it doesn't work out well, that's another matter, another hearing for another day, which will be coming up shortly anyway. But don't make distinctions between the parenting time that my client gets and the parenting time the mother gets. Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may clarify my position, I'm specifically seeking suspension of parenting time between Mr. King and his oldest son who has been placed with a non-respondent mother who is the custodial parent.
No.
And so that's what I'm clarifying the suspension on, because there's a lot of issues going on with that particular case. And I do believe the oldest child could potentially be taken off the petition once we're able to iron out issues with custody and parenting time in their family court file. But I would not be opposed to supervised time with the children between the two parties that are respondents.
Is there, Ms. Fullerton, would you mind coming to the podium? I have a couple questions and I think you might be able to answer. Deputy Answer to swear in, as well as Mr. Ferry, in case I need to ask him any questions.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Ms. Fullerton, there was a bit of a kerfuffle, if you will, about Tranquil Studios. I think a couple months ago, and whether or not she has some kind of contract with DHS or not. I'm asking because specifically the issue that Ms. Underwood is raising is outlined in this petition as being an issue between two divorced parents. And Tranquil Studios, as I understand it, is the only service that we would have to address those particular dynamics.
I would have to look. I know that we were using them previously, but I feel like there was an issue with payment or we don't have a specific contract, but I feel like there was something to do with the payment. We certainly could research that.
Yes.
And see if that would be an option.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Does anyone have any follow-up questions on my questions of Ms. Fullerton?
No.
No.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, Mr. Farian, can you put that referral in and just see where it goes?
Yes, Your Honor.
For Tranquil Studios, as well as a parenting time assessment
Sure.
for both parents
Yes, Your Honor.
before you relinquish your obligations on the case.
Yes, ma'am.
Normally I would ask Ms. Smith, or Brinker, I'm sorry, but she's not with us this morning. So I'm going to ask you to make sure that it gets done right away. Okay, I'm not going to suspend parenting time at this moment. The child that Ms. Underwood is concerned about certainly will be subject to a parenting time evaluation, but I would also note that he's been living with his dad for the last 3 months. And I think that there is certainly a bond there. I will say, though, that parenting time for both parents will be supervised, should include some therapeutic parenting time. So we'll need another referral on that one. And I will be specific in the order that if there are any indications of coaching, inappropriate behavior, or aggression, even aggressive behavior, verbally or physically, then those workers will have the right to terminate that parenting time immediately. And I trust them also to bring me a motion immediately to suspend parenting time if either of you take advantage of that or something. Frankly, I'm worried about the kids. And if something more traumatic happens during parenting time, then I'm not doing my job to make sure that we're minimizing the problems that this causes your children. So don't be a problem. Just appreciate the time you have with your children, and we'll have a look at the case again at the pretrial and the initial disposition, which is December 20th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All other prior orders remain in full force and effect. Unless there's any questions, that's all for this morning.
Court like.
Let's get the facts straight. She loves a verbal ashtray. Never blowing smoke when she gets pissed. She's quick to castrate. Love her on a good day, love her on a bad day. Either way, she's here to stay. Call her police.